This is the camper caravan show Nadajin near Warsaw, Poland. This is a Balcamp van conversion on a Mercedes base. Now they do most of the stuff they do is on a Mercedes base, but here I'll just show you this one here quickly. That's a MAN, and so they'll be doing some stuff with MAN. But most of what they do is on a Mercedes base. This is SP720, 7-meter long vehicle. And it is 291 centimeters high and internal height 190. It's got around 500 kilos of payload and 199 centimeters width. And it's sold. So you might have been a lucky buyer. But if you weren't, then you could always ask them to do one for you. Oh, I'll give you the price, which is 267,000 zloty. Share that by 4.2. You got the amount in euros, and share it by 3.5, and you've got the amount in dollars. So it's about 65,000 euros off the top of my head quickly. In fact, slightly less. Of course, prices, it's very difficult to say because it depends on VAT rates, it depends on tax, import duties, it depends on transport, it depends on all sorts of other things. So I can only really give you local amounts, so amount which would be within the European Union, where the VAT rates are different from one country to another. They are roughly similar. So, one of the problems with Mercedes is it's very narrow, and the walls slope inwards. Maybe slightly exaggerated there with my hand, but you'll get the general idea. This means that even somebody my own height, for example, I'm average height absolutely for a European male, and 175. And this would be slightly too narrow for me. Now, there's a number of solutions which have been done, for example making a sort of place for your feet at the back of the van, or alternatively you just do a lengthwise bed, which has been done here. But the gangway is quite wide, I would say, and with a good amount of access there to the fridge and the hanging space up here. Oh, well, they're shelves, sorry. You could put hanging space in there should you so desire. And here is the toilet. Plenty of light in there. Very nice bathroom, I think. Although I admit I prefer one with a window in. Now, for such a narrow van, I think they've done quite a good job here in creating space. Now, there's not a lot of room for kitchen prep, but you can also do it at the table, of course. Let's have a look at the sink. And there you've got some storage, including there. Sometimes now an extension put on, of course, with this round shape, which I actually believe is probably better within a van. You can't actually add an extension really. I suppose you could sort of have one that sticks under there. But anyway, wouldn't need an extension for when you've got a table. Now there's space being put down there. I suppose if you're sitting down here and you've got your feet up there, I don't suppose it'd bother you too much that there was a space down there. That of course is necessary for when you're sitting in this position and going forward. This belted position and going forward. The side seat doesn't have a belt. There's some curious way the law works. In some countries you need a belt when you're going sideways, and others you don't. But if you live in one that does need a belt, then you obviously wouldn't be sitting there when the car was moving forward. Now, I like the amount of height we've got in here. I like the use of space. And I think it looks quite good as well. Obviously, how something looks is a matter of opinion, so it's entirely subjective. You mightn't like it at all. Let's have a walk on the outside. I think the trade fair's actually ended. People are closing.
Do widzenia. Do zobaczenia. Do widzenia. Dziękuję.
Right, so what do you think of that? Mercedes conversion, and people want to see Mercedes conversions. There you got one, and I'm going to, you know, Mercedes conversions have priority for me. I show you them whenever I can. First, okay, so let's just close the thing up and allow people to go home. It's closed. At a distance.